All right, here we go. I believe we are recording. We are indeed. All right, so welcome everybody to today's webinar. I am your host, the one and only. I'm just kidding. Again, welcome. My name is Marcus Holmes. I am the Southeast FBC for the grounds guys. So welcome. And this, put it down. All right, today we're going to be talking about hiring your rock star. And with that being said, we're going to go into, I'm going to do the short code of values for Neighborly as we begin, because we always want to go over our values and understand what we expect. So we live our code of values by showing respect for all people, acting with integrity in all dealings, serving customers with enthusiasm, and having fun in the process. So welcome. All right, hiring your rock star. There's so many instances when you're looking at hiring that high-end person, a rock star, a productions manager, a general manager, a sales, anybody within an office manager position, anybody that's your rock star that you need for your company to make sure and grow. And with that being said, is it's going to go ahead and take everybody that you have looking in your business, and you're going to go ahead and you know that you need a piece of the puzzle that's a major piece that's missing. That would be your rock star. Hiring your rock star, you can start with Career Plug. And as you see Career Plug right in front of you, I'm actually open on Carlos's. And I see Gaynell just joined us. Hi, Gaynell.
Hey, everybody.
I was going to down. All right. All right, so actually Gaynell and I worked with Carlos last week, or actually this week, and I wanted to show you guys a few things on starting your rock star and understanding how you need to really put a job in Career Plug and weed people out to look for your rock star. As we go along, everybody's so worried about when they go on and put a job in the Career Plug about getting 30 or 40 applicants. The idea to the 30 or 40 applicants is you're going to have a lot of issues trying to bring them in. You're going to have 2 or 3 people that come in that no-show on you. You're going to have multiple people that work with you for a day or two and just walk off job or tell you that they are unable to do the job completely. So looking to hire somebody that is your rock star, we want to make sure when we put the job out there in the public and asking for applicants, we want to ask for the top 5%. I always say the top 10%, but the top 5% looking for your rock star. And there's a few ways to make sure and to do this and to weed out the people for the applications. A lot of people, when they go to look at a job and apply for jobs, the people that are that don't want to give the time on an application need are the people that you're not wanting in the first place. Those are the people that are just going to push through on an application and get it done as quickly as possible and not give time or effort. Those, again, are not the people that we're looking for. So as I go into job screen, I'm going to click into Carlos's real quick, and I'm going to actually look into his landscape lawn maintenance foreman crew leader. I'm going to open this up and I'm going to edit. Go to his edit screen. And I'm going to go directly to his job posting. So this is what Gaynell and I worked on just the other day. Again, Gaynell posted on the title, the landscape lawn maintenance foreman crew leader. The reason why she has such a large title is she's trying to capture more people. All of these in the title are key words, so they're all split up. Landscape, lawn, maintenance, foreman, crew, leader are all split up. So whenever somebody goes and creates a LinkedIn account or an Indeed account or other Glassdoor accounts, they put in keyword factors for new jobs that will pop up in the market around their zip codes, around a mileage that they put in, right? And that will instantly bring them new jobs and notify them quickly. So again, they're getting notified quickly. As soon as they apply for a job, we're getting notified quickly as owners, and you guys need to instantly get out there as soon as possible, typically within a 20-minute time frame. to be able to capture those people, because other people are in the industry are reaching out to them as well. So again, you need to be precise, you need to be quick, and we need to be diligent on looking for applicants. So title is crucial. You can add, as much as you want in the title. The character side is not, I think it stops you at like 30 characters. So again, add as much as you can in here and then move on. Description. You guys, if you're looking for a key factor, key promoter, or a rock star, as I would say, description is a necessity. The descriptions that we give you within CareerPlug are genuine and they're generic. So when you're looking for a rock star, you want to make sure and read through everything on the specific responsibilities and the job requirements and add to them. Knowing that we're looking at for a rock star and for a particular person, we want to be able to add certain features in here and certain keywords and certain vocabulary that's not going to be looked at by multiple people, right? We're looking for a distinctive person. So remember, add more responsibilities in here and add more job requirements. If I'm looking for a general manager who I'm going to pay $60,000 a year, or 80, or in some cases 90, or 70, wherever you're going to put them at. Listen, I'm going to want to put extra responsibilities in here and extra job requirements, because I want to make it as realistic as possible. Realistic expectations up front. They're going to want to go in here, and the people that are actually looking for a rock star position are going to fully read the description. They're not just going to scan through it, right? We're not looking for just a crew member, right, or a crew leader, or somebody on the lower end scale. We're looking at a rock star, a salesperson. We're looking for an office manager position. All of these positions, you want to add more requirements and more specific responsibilities. Let them know that the job's not as easy as they think, and be realistic as possible. So we're going to go ahead and scroll down. Again, as we scroll down through here, if you guys have questions, go ahead and flag me. You can take yourself off mute, or you can also put it in the text. And we can go ahead and I'll stop and go over your questions. All right, so as we scroll down to full-time employment, desired experience, you can put a field in here. Also the salary range. Make sure and fill this out. This is information that's critical, because people want to know up front what your expectations are of a job, but also what your desired experience is, as well as salary range. This all needs to be placed in here, okay? And then as we scroll to the bottom, we look at categories, and 4 of 5 categories selected. You want to make sure and select categories, and I'll open it up. And this is going to be select up to 5 categories that best match this job. So again, if you're looking for an office manager, you're going to want accounting and finance on the top. You're going to want account management, correct? And then we're going to scroll down and listen, there's so many factors and jobs in here. You'll want to pick your top 5. Your clerical and administrative is another one, right? So we want to make sure and utilize these categories, and we want to make sure at least 3 are selected, and max of 5. Okay, so make sure and select the categories. This also, it says right here on the right-hand side, adding categories helps with visibility in certain job board searches. Setting categories can help this job appear in search results more frequently. Okay, so again, we want to make sure and capture the correct people, and this is certain ways to do it. Again, if you're looking for a team member or even a crew member, or a spray technician or anybody of that nature, select the categories and select at least 3 to make sure we can capture some people on the search side, okay? As well as making sure and including the verbiage within the title itself as well, okay? And as we look down, you guys will always see Career Plug adding all of these nice, helpful hints in here. Adding employment type and desired experience gives job seekers on Indeed more information about the position. That's correct. So, as well as here, I want to touch this. This is to ensure your job is not flagged on job boards like Indeed. Your job should be something that the employee could put on a business card or LinkedIn profile. Avoid symbols. Don't use phrases to create urgency like hiring ASAP. Don't use all caps. Don't use dates, times, shifts in the title, and avoid unnecessary descriptors in the title. They want you to be descriptive and strong, right? And we don't want our title and our job to be flagged because if you put in there like hiring ASAP or live auction or any kind of words that are that nature that aren't an actual job description, they're going to flag it and they'll pull you. They'll pull it. It doesn't happen very often, but it can happen. Okay. Going on to the applicant evaluation side. This is a critical side. Gaynell and I were discussing the other day about pre-screening questions. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my pre-screen questions that I have listed here. And there they are. I'm going to bring them in front of here. All right, and these are, again, these are what I have just come up with Gaynell's help. So as we look down, I want to let you guys know that Kimberly placed this on both FranConnect as well, and I placed it on Facebook in the file side. So you guys can now have Career Plug pre-screen questions. Okay, and these are default questions that you guys can go out and grab. You can copy and paste them in. I put default yes or no pre-screen questions. If answer no, disqualify the applicant. This is a crucial side. You want to make sure and disqualify applicant on yes or no questions instead of scoring them. We don't need to worry about a score necessarily as how we can weed out applicants. Listen, if they're not able to work legally in the United States, we need to be able, and they state, no, I'm not legally authorized, we need to be able to disqualify them. The system will automatically send them an email saying, thank you for applying, but at this time we are going to look further. So it's just a really nice email. And again, same thing with, do you hold a driver's license? We can put no and disqualify. Listen, most of the time that people don't hold a valid driver's license, there's a reason to it, right? So if they hit no and they get disqualified and get sent an email, but then you're knowing that this person came up to you, at a job site and was asking you for a job and told you they don't have a driver's license because of a ticketing problem or however, and you want to give this person a tryout, you can go ahead and go back to the application and not disqualify the person and put them through to interview him or her, moving forward. But again, we're talking about rock stars as well as just central system side as well. I always want people to answer no, and if they do, it's disqualification. If they have any alcohol-related convictions on their driving record, this means that if, for instance, if your driver has a valid driver's license on your crew, but the other two people in the vehicle with him or her are unable to drive because they have a DUI or multiple tickets or anything on their record, that truck is no longer going to move. And that's a major problem. So again, make sure and expect what you expect. And once you put an application out there, understand what you're looking for as an owner and move forward to that point. Okay. So again, I'm not going to really go over every single default question, but I wanted to let you guys know it's out there for your guys's. You guys can download it off of Facebook, or you can go look at it on FranConnect. Again, we have default open-ended, open response pre-screening questions as well. I did 10 of each. Again, you can utilize all of them. You can utilize some of them, however you want to. We just never had this in the past, so I wanted to get it out to everybody. and let you guys utilize it moving forward. All right, I'm going to go ahead and minimize that and come back to Career Plug. All right, so here's the pre-screen questions that we see right now. Again, Gaynell worked directly with him, with Carlos, to set up all of these questions. I was on here as well, so we got to help him together, which was great. But again, I want you guys to be able to see on the side. This is all helpful hints. Pre-screen questions are questions that applicants must answer in order to apply to the job. They can be scored and can help quickly screen applicants to find the best ones. Add no more than 5. Asking too many questions up front can discourage applicants. That's correct. But again, this is this is overall in application processes and overall industry. This is not directed towards our industry as the grounds guys. This is directed to like professional fields. But again, even in the professional sector, you typically have to answer 10 or 15 questions on an application. And I know that personally because I have applied to multiple jobs in the past and had to work through all of this. So again, I don't think adding more than 5 is going to discourage applicants. I believe that you should add 10 to 15 questions because you want to be able to filter out. And again, a rock star, everybody thinks that a cup is full if you have 20 or more applicants. But I believe that a cup is full if you have 5 applicants instead of 20. And the reason why is I want to be able to reach out to those 5 applicants that have answered all of my questions, have passed all of my questions correctly, as well as assessments, and have gone through the assessments, taken the assessments, and are filtering out themselves greatly. And it looks like they could really be successful within the grounds guys and within your company. Okay, so again, I truly believe that asking more than 5 questions is perfectly okay. And in fact, I suggest asking 10 to 15 questions. We want to be able to weed out people. We want to be able to find the best of the best applicants. And listen, I know it gets discouraging when you guys go out and you put in for a crew member position, just the bottom of the barrel, and you only get 5 applicants within 10 days. I understand that gets a little discouraging, especially when you're needing to hire right now because you don't do this consistently or recurring. So here's the thing that I really suggest everybody to do is that when you're looking for a rock star, you're pre-planning, you're working with your FBC, and you're not looking to do it right now. You're looking to do it within a relative month, 2-month, or 3-month window, right? You're knowing what's coming up, and you know what your business needs right now. And trust me, within a couple of months, if you know that you need an office manager or a salesperson or a productions manager, now you definitely know what's coming up, meaning that your time is going to be taken from you more and more as you go along looking for this person. But don't look for that applicant and don't look to fill that job right away. Find the person that's going to make you the most successful and live and breathe within your culture, within your crew. Every crew is slightly different. Every owner is slightly different, right? So you're going to have to find that person and that niche within your company. Don't just grab the first person, and don't get, if you only have 1 person or 2 people apply and they go through your phone interview and you're just not filling it on any of them, right? You don't necessarily have to move them forward. Just you have to be able to go and out there for your rock star and give a 3-month window for this person. So for right now, if you're thinking to yourself, wow, I need somebody right now. Well, the idea is that we as in all of us, coaches, owners, should have had better communication and knowing what we needed, in a 3-month, 6-month window, right? We need to be able to plan, and we need to be able to put on paper or within goals, understanding what we need for the year, right? And so this is where it comes into play of planning and being successful and looking down the road. Don't just look at what's in front of you. Okay, a rock star is not going to be just in front of you right now. A rock star is a planning stage of 3 to 6 months, saying, I need to get a rock star in 3 to 6 months. And so that shows me as a coach, or even as you guys as owners, that, hey, I need to go on Career Plug, start to make a job, really put in some work on posting a job, putting in some difficult questions for people so I can filter out. Those people that I don't want to interview, that are going to waste my time, that are time spenders, or that are going to come up, interview with me, and I'm going to hire them, and then they don't show up the first day, right? Listen, put your time in while you're trying to interview your rock stars. Put your time in looking forward down the road. You've really got to, as an owner, live and breathe in your company, which you do already. But so many of us get so caught up with the day-to-day that we don't have enough time to stop and work on our business. We always are working in our business. Okay, so enough preaching. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. The select assessments are for me, especially with the Rockstar, you need both math, the verbal aptitude assessment, and the personality assessment. The math assessment already has questions built into it. There's, I believe, 10 or 15 questions in the math assessment. Doesn't take very long. It's pretty cut and dry. Okay, but the personality assessments, now this is where you can select categories, and I'm going to go ahead and select categories. And I always tell everybody to pick 3 to 5 categories. And everyone's like, well, only 3 to 5. Well, every time you check mark something, that's 10 questions. Okay, so any of these sections here are all 10 questions. Okay, so we don't want to put it too much. But listen, if you're looking for a team member, you might not even send them to an assessment, right? But you might send them to the math assessment instead. But if you're looking for a team lead, I would suggest always doing math as well as some personality assessments. Here, Carlos has chose to do integrity and service situational judgment and teamwork, which I completely agree with. And Gaynell and I, again, went through all this with him and to make sure that he didn't want to add any more. Okay, and this is for a team lead position. So again, as you get higher up, for an office manager or a productions manager or a general manager, you would add more, okay? And even for a general manager, you might add, let's say, 5 to 7 to 8. Listen, because you'll really want to understand who they are as a person. And this really gives you definitive breakdown of understanding who they are. And honestly, I would click on all of them as an owner, and I would go submit the job and actually take the assessment yourself and really understand what all of it looks like. It's going to take a little bit of time, but again, there's nothing like living and breathing within your company and taking care of your company 100%. And this is part of it. So as we move on from here, I'm going to go ahead and go over the help site here. Assessments help you get information on an applicant before you invest your own time in an interview. Choose which assessments you'd like to potentially send to applicants. You don't have to send them to all applicants. So again, as a team member or just an actual crew member, you don't have to send them assessments. But I would suggest when you're implementing this job and setting up this job, I would always select assessments anyway, just to have them there, just in case. Because you might say, well, I don't need to send anybody to an assessment as a crew member. Well, you might, after you've gone through 4 or 5 people that are that no-show on you, or 4 or 5 people that will come to work and then walk off the job. And I know a lot of people right now currently are experiencing that. So again, why not put some people through a couple more hoops to weed out people that just don't want to be there, or just want to work part-time, or just want to work their own time. So they're going to do whatever they want to do. And as an owner, if you really need somebody, you're really going to have to work around somebody's flamboyant schedule or flamboyant life, or anything within that nature. So again, I would always suggest assessments be checkmarked, bring them into the job. You don't necessarily have to send the person the assessments. But again, always add these. All right. The hiring settings, we're going to jump on to the next side. I'm just going to listen. It's the hiring manager is typically the owner, unless you're a larger organization. For instance, April Williams in Texas has her own hiring manager. In fact, she has a productions manager, general manager, however he is, that runs everything in Career Plug, that interviews everybody. And then as soon as they hire somebody, it then goes to their office manager, and she goes ahead and onboards them. Okay. And then posting status is the next tab on the top. Again, just make it active. I never have any of my folks go ahead and we don't want to make an internal post. Do not display to my career page. Well, why would you do that? These are 4 things here that for you as an owner, if you want to make a job post and add the assessments and add every single one of the assessments, this is the time to where you would do an internal post, apply to it, and be able to walk all the way through to see what your applicants see. This is the time to do it, is to make an internal post. So you can also make an internal post for a while, walk through it yourself, and then come back here, turn the internal post off, and it will go active out to all the 11 job boards that we're currently house. Okay. All right, and that's it. Make this job confidential. Again, there's other options. No company's information will be shown on this job, and I'm reading right here. If you want to make it confidential, and the job will not display on your company's job board. Selecting this option will prevent your job from appearing in organic job listings on your partner sites, including Indeed.com. So again, if you're making this confidential, it could be for a general manager that you have in mind that currently has a job. If you're wanting to make this confidential, you would make it confidential, right? You would go ahead and check mark this box, just click it, and it will appear green. You would want it to not appear on your careers page, and you would want it to be an internal post. That way it just provides you a link. That way you can copy the link and send it to somebody quietly. That's a professional way if they already have a job and you're just quietly talking to them about the possibility of joining your team and your organization. This is the way to do that. And that will provide a link for you, and then you'll be able to send the link further on down the line. Okay, it's a nice professional manner, and that's the way you would tend to that situation. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel because I don't want to update his job posting in any way, shape, or form. Again, I want to let you guys know that every time you add a job, it's the plus sign here. I know it's a little different. Career Plug has updated everything, but again, it's the plus sign's really nice because it's the same side as GG Pro. Everything on GG Pro you want to add, it's always a plus button. So that's kind of nice. It wasn't meant that way, but it's nice that both of them have that. So it's pretty consistent. So again, your Rockstar jobs are again, hit the plus. You can use a job template, or you can create a blank. I would always proceed to use a job template, and then you can see what we have listed here. If you guys are needing something above and beyond as a job template, I would go ahead and reach out to other larger owners and organizations and ask them for their job template, and you can actually create one. Once you create it, it will then appear in your job templates. I see someone has a question. Go ahead. Anybody have a question? I thought that was Troxel saying, I have a question here. No? Okay. Does anybody have any questions right now? Okay. All right. So let's continue to move forward here. All right. So anyway, so job templates. So again, if you go and you create a blank one, creating a blank job template, once you create the template and you break it, it will always appear underneath the template list. Okay, which is very nice to have. Let's see, is there anybody else off of mute? I think everybody's on mute. Getting some feedback. Okay. Does anybody have any questions up until this point? Trox, are you good? So far, so good? Okay, so I want to make sure that everybody understands that hiring a rock star takes time. It really takes time. You need to be able to look down the road and say, listen, in 3 to 6 months, I need this person. Even if you say, I need this person right now, well, then we need to get you on Career Plug as a coach, and we need to get that in and get it going. And you cannot expect to get somebody right now. Once in a while it happens. Once in a while it does happen that you will put it on Career Plug and find that one person, or you'll walk into Lowe's and you'll just end up talking to somebody because you have the Grounds Guys logo on your shirt, and they'll just start communicating with you. Again, those instances do happen. Okay, I'm not going to say they don't, but when you go on Career Plug, expect not to get somebody right away, because we want to be able to put up so many filters to be able to weed out so many people that are not going to do well in our organization. And I cannot press that enough. So again, I'd rather have a cup with 5 applicants in it over a 30-day window rather than 30, especially for my Rockstar job. We want to be able to filter those people out. And as a team leader or a team member, I'd rather have 10 than 40 or 50 in my cup. Because those 40 or 50 that you have to weed out manually now by calls, or making sure that if you don't put in the questions of drug screening or background checks, asking them if they have any bad things happen in their past, or if they have a driver's license. If you don't add all those questions, then honestly, when you're going through this whole process, you're going to have to ask those questions later on. So let's ask them and answer them up front and take care of our time as efficient as possible. All right, and with that, I'm going to open it to the floor. I can show you guys anything on Career Plug. We can walk through certain things. The one thing I wanted to show you guys, I'm going to move this back down. The one thing I wanted to show you guys is where assessments do live and where you can activate the assessments. Because right now I found out that assessments will not appear on your job board or when you're creating a job unless you go into your settings. So here we're going to go into settings real quick on the upper right-hand corner where settings lives. And then we're going to go on the left-hand side here to manage hiring process. I'm going to open this up. Most people would think to click assessments. We don't actually want to do that. That's to create your own. We want to go to the hiring process tab on the left-hand side. Click here. It's then going to take us to your hiring process. It's going to say hiring workflow for the Grounds Guys of so-and-so. You'll want to hit edit and go into the hiring process. This is then going to take you to your actual process that the system has already set up. So first you're going to review the applicant. Next will be assessment, phone screen, interview, references, and then you can continue to look down the line of offer, background, hire. Okay? So assessment here is going to be blank if you have never done this before. You'll want to click on the word assessment. It will then open up into the assessments. You'll want to scroll all the way down and check mark both personality assessments and the math verbal aptitude assessment. Well, we want to check mark both of those boxes to include them on every job. Okay? So as soon as we've check marked them, we'll go back to the hiring, update hiring step. And they'll appear here after you've check marked them and gone to update. Okay, I want to let you guys know that on the phone screen, interview, references, offer, you guys can, again, click in here and add some things. Background checks. You can click on the background and you can add your own company that you utilize for background checks. And then, of course, hire is when you're hiring them. You'll check mark the hire button if you've hired them. and it will take you on to the onboarding section of CareerPlug. All right, does anybody have any questions while I'm in settings? No questions. All right. All right, so I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and here's where I'm going to open the floor up to. I want to find out what's going on right now within your guys's job postings, within people that you're trying to bring in, some positives and negatives. So Chris, if you could take yourself off mute, or I'll unmute you. There we go.
Yeah.
What have you found out recently on some job postings that you put out there?
Well, we've been hiring for a team lead mowing person, and every time we call them back, they've already found another job and are not interested for some reason.
Okay.
So we're having a hard time finding a team lead guy to come in and take over. We had 3 or 4 this week that we called back, and 3 of them never called us back, and the other one said he wasn't interested in the job. So I'm like, why did you apply for it in the first place, you know?
Right.
And then our sales position, been struggling with that quite a bit because of our location. We've got people that don't want to drive 20 to 25 minutes to a job.
Okay.
So sales position, and then our mow team lead, and then we're trying to find a hardscape person. We're having those 3 people are our hardest ones to find right now.
Okay.
So I know we got ads out on CareerPlug, Facebook. We did hire, finally we got a new admin lady that started this week, and it's been awesome.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, she's in here today. She's been listening to all this going on. So,
Well, good.
Yeah.
You need to give her some access to your CareerPlug. That way she can play in it and really start to get a hold of each job. Again, I feel that if you take some of the questions that we put together for you, some of the default questions, and added some more of those questions, as well as assessments, I really do think you're going to weed out of some of those people.
all right.
Honestly, if they apply to the job and they answer all your questions correctly and they move on to the next step, and you send them assessments and then they don't do the assessments after a couple days, you know that they're not interested. There's
That's happened. That's happened. Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many people nowadays that apply for above their pay grade. Let's be honest. I was in this, so you know, if it's above your pay grade, right, you don't get to do it. So let's be quite honest that so many people that don't have great work experience or have some bad backgrounds or anything within that case could they always try to apply higher. Like, well, no, I'm only a crew member and I've only worked here for 2 months, so I barely know how to run a weed eater. But I'm going to go apply to Chris's place for this team leader, and I'm going to make $2 more an hour, and he's not even going to know it, right? So, and that happens. It does happen. But if you walk them through the process of saying, well, I'd like you to take this assessment as well as being a leader, I want to see what your leader qualities are, and this will help me understand that.
Yep.
Most of the time, those type of people are going to say, no, I'm not going to take that. And then you can just go ahead and disqualify them and get through
and move on to the next person.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
we had a salesman to come in last week for a job, and her interview was at 9:30, so she showed up like at 8:45. So she was way early, so it took her almost an hour to fill out her application. So I came back in the office. I said, ma'am, are you done? She's like, duh, no. Haven't you ever had to fill out an application before? I'm like, oh, there's your car door. Go get in it and go. So we've had those. Like, wow.
I would always insist on people to go on to Indeed or LinkedIn, or you could even send them the link to their direct email and have them fill out the application prior to.
Yeah.
With all their information. And that way, once we hire them, we can then, they're already in the system, right? And once we hire them, it automatically goes to the onboarding process. And then we can do everything with drug screening and background checks.
Sure.
And then you can do your W-2s, you can do our I-9s and their driver's license. All of that then is all through their phone. and you don't have to worry about any paper whatsoever.
Sure, and we just have them fill out. She filled it out online, but we always just have them fill out a paper one, so that way we have it in our file just in case we do have somebody leave. Then we can just go back and pull her, app out, look at it again.
So just to give you a heads up, once you hire somebody on CareerPlug, application will never go away. Even if you go away from the pro account on CareerPlug, your information will always be stored and never deleted.
Okay.
So even people that have ghosted accounts that haven't used them for 3 years, we don't delete them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, and I think also the issue with our salesperson, you've been to our office before.
Mm-hmm.
We just have this one room in here, and then we just have our shop out there. So I think some people that are trying to apply for an office job, we are in the process here pretty quick, hopefully building us a brand new shop with, offices inside it. But I think some people come to our shop like, this is not legit. But it is legit, but I think they walk in, they see, a box room with an old door and, and an air conditioner stuck in a wall.
Yes.
And I think it kind of scares them away. I think sometimes, they're like, what is this place? And I think a lot of them want to walk into a professional building, which we are going to do that. But it's going to take us a little bit of time. But I think that's another issue right there.
So I would say that trying to go away from paper as much as you can. Because everything that's housed on CareerPlug, both application side and onboarding side, you'll never be able to lose it. It's always with you. Okay, so, and you can always go back. It's easier to reference it with one click than a big filing cabinet full of a bunch of paper that you legally have to have locked, right? If they have any kind of information.
Yeah.
And anybody ever gets into it that's an employee and takes out other people's information, then you're going to be held,
So don't have them fill out the paper application then at all, correct?
No, just have them fill out the online source here. And again, you can always go back to this.
Okay.
Yep. It'll alleviate some space for you too. Brad, is that okay with you? Does that sound good? He's probably not even listening.
Yep, sorry, I couldn't get to my mute. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Yeah, and again, work with your coaches. Each coach has a different way of handling it. But again, if we can get away from paper and always utilize CareerPlug to its fullest, just like GG Pro and Element Time, once you're utilizing the system and utilizing it correctly to the fullest, you'll finally understand, wow, this is a really great process. This is a really great system, and it's helping my business.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, that's been our struggle, but I'm just, we're thankful that we got Megan in here now to help with the admin. That's going to really take a lot of stress off Jessica, and she's really doing good. This is only her, third day, and she's getting it down.
Wonderful. That's great news. And feel free, if anybody ever needs help on CareerPlug, please feel free to email me. Gaynell and Brad and everybody grabs me all the time. So again, feel free to email me. I'm the expert for CareerPlug, so-called expert. And but again, I'll be able to help.
Yeah. Did you see that Facebook post that Baker put on hiring process the other day?
No, I didn't.
You should look at that. He had a pretty good deal on that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll take a reference to that. All right. Is anybody else have any other questions or concerns? Anybody else? Holden? How's
Hi, I have a question.
Okay, go
My
ahead.
name's Kristen. I'm from I am from the Grounds Guys of Spokane and Washington State here. I am wondering if anyone has found some best practices that have been successful in capturing a fertilization spray technician.
Okay. Have you put out the position on CareerPlug?
Yes, we have the position posted on CareerPlug. Learned some valuable things today as far as that the words in the title are all keywords that pop up in searches. So we'll be adjusting that going forward to hopefully see if that would capture someone there.
Also, the categories on the bottom of the first page, we want to make sure and define categories and make sure and try to make it as relatable as possible.
Okay, I'll check the categories as well.
Yes, and that'll actually help you with your search, their searches as well as yours. And Kristen, don't be afraid to reach out to other large companies around you. We have quite a few Top Guns. Troxel's a Top Gun, and we have quite a few large businesses that will help you. Maybe give you a few words of advice of how to do it. I'm from Lewiston, Idaho, so I'm actually 2 hours south from you originally. So anyway, you're my neck of the woods. Used to be neck of the woods.
Awesome.
Yeah, I call Spokane. That was always the place to go for anything. So, kind of a hub.
Well, awesome.
All right. So yes, feel free to reach out if you need some more time, Kristen, or if you want, you can actually shoot me an email. I can go back and maybe look at your job description and post, and maybe give you some ideas as well.
Perfect. Then I will go in and take a look at those categories and the title and see if in the next week or so, if those updates will help capture a fertilization spray tech. We just haven't even had
How long have you had
a
it posted?
qualified candidate come through that way. So
Right. How long have you had it posted?
many months.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
Let me-
it's listed right now as a spray technician, and what I've found is that it's attracting paint spray technicians. And now that I know that we can update those words, I wonder if it's going to better capture someone with a fertilization spray background.
Right. Troxel, you're going to say something?
I would speak on that. We've tried to do that before, and we've had a lot of people didn't want to go through the process of taking the test to get certified. That was our number one thing. We had a lot of people want to apply, but then they did not want to, study the books, take the test, and go get certified through the state spray. So we just pretty much just farm that out to another company, all of our spray stuff.
Okay.
Kristen,
And
do
a
you
lot of
guys,
guys don't want to, and chemicals seem to scare people anymore these days. People don't like messing with chemicals. A lot of guys don't like wearing those, the suit and the gloves and the mask out there when it's 100 degrees outside. So our company is very professional that we deal with, and they take a lot of pride in it. And it just, I don't know, it's easier for us not to have to mess with it. So, I mean, we bill out our customers, and we get a percentage of it, and then they get the rest of it. And we don't have to worry about chemicals, and yeah,
Right.
It's just a lot easier. But some other people like doing it in-house. We don't. So
Sean, you have your hand raised? Oh, we still can't hear you. Yeah. So I can tell you guys that Sean, they do a lot of spray. Sean does spray himself. Tennessee is a state that it's very difficult to get your spray license. It's a major test, and then your guys actually have to test as well. There's multiple states like that. So again, don't let that discourage you when it goes with the testing site. Know that as owners, if the owner goes and takes the test, fulfills the test, and then having your people below you, that's the best way to look forward to spray technicians, as well as if you're going to do it in-house.
and one of our local competitors, he makes all their guys has to have a college degree in horticulture. Before
Right.
they can even come on board, they have to go. They have to be college grad to work for them.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Again, there's so many instances right now that's going around through both U.S. and Canada that the rules are going to be changing even more. And again, it's going to make it to where more and more chemicals are going to come off the shelf, and only applicator's license will be able to be utilized moving forward. So again, Yep, Sean, I still can't hear you.
He's trying to talk and he can't.
Yeah. That's funny. He's in the firehouse today.
That kind of looks like Brad Grisman sitting there trying to talk and I can't hear him.
Oh, there's Corey. Hey, Corey, you got something for me? No, I can't hear Corey either. All right. So again, within spray technicians and everything on that side, I would change the title. Look at turf care as well. Other industry actual verbiage and words, I would change the titles to look at more of our industry side. Lawn care specialists within turf care, that type of scenario. Corey, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hey,
Hey, do you have anything to add to that?
no, I've been listening on my phone. I heard a few things from other guys talking about shop sizes and things like that. And I mean, you know, you can, I know guys that run 6-8 truck companies off a laptop out of their truck. I don't ever look that way. I work off a white, just a white fold up table in my office.
Oh, don't let him. His office is nice. Anyway, all right. So if you guys have any other questions directly related to Career Plug, or if you have any questions just in general about hiring or anything about employees, reach out to your FBC again, or you can go ahead and email me if it has anything to do with Career Plug. I'll walk it
Yeah.
one-on-one with you guys. So
Yep.
anyway, take care of yourselves. Be good. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll talk to you. Okay?
Sounds
Thanks.
good, Marcus. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks.